camera bag, booze bag, ready to go. You know, the one thing I always love about coming to California is the weather. I mentioned in yesterday's episode that I forgot to bring my toothbrush. I also forgot to buy one yesterday, so my mouth is gross. Apologize to everybody that I talked to today. It's gonna be terrible. I've got a 9 a.m. meeting this morning, so I'm not gonna have time to grab one before that. Hopefully after that. Apparently this place has free breakfast. I'm expecting a stale bagel, but let's see what we can find. Potatoes. Actually, it wasn't too bad. They should focus more on the rooms than the breakfast, but especially with McDonald's right next door. But anyways, I'm happily surprised. Off to the meeting. We have arrived, Exotic Auto Recycling. So we're out here near Sacramento somewhere. I'm only like 15 minutes late, which is pretty good for build time. I set my expectations. I told them around 9 o'clock. Anyways, they have an amazing amount of cool stuff in here. It's kind of like heaven for me. But we're talking to them about parts for the next build, as well as potentially picking up another thing for a SEMA build a little bit later this year. But don't get too bent up. Don't start trying to search through every little bit of footage for the car, because my car's not here. My next build is not here. But also, I'm not going to film the same type of car anyways, because I don't want to give it away. But the big hint is they do have parts for the next build. I love seeing these vandalism when you just see like somebody went hardcore on the interior. I love seeing that. I don't know why. Just knowing the rage that some dude pissed his wife off. So
that one too.
You guys might recognize this. This is TJ Hunt's car out here getting repaired. I don't want to leak too much of the goodness, but it's really good quality repair, and it's coming along really nicely. So TJ should be happy. I want this. Can't afford it. TJ mentioned this. Turbo system blew up because of bad fuel pressure regulator. Caused real bad fire. Tough times. But luckily, everybody got out. This is absolute goals. Paradise. I would love to be able to just walk out in my backyard and pick the next build. That's just square tubing.
That's why this would be
Well, that's a Gallardo, right? Yeah. All right. Well, that was an expensive trip. Bought $5 grand worth of parts. Still don't have all the parts we need. Think I need to spend another 10 grand on parts. So yeah, it's an expensive build, guys. And I do believe we found our SEMA build. I'm very excited. I don't every year want to like be chasing the dragon and try and wow people at SEMA, but I'll explain it when we unveil the next build. There's just something that I've always wanted to build, and I've tiptoed close to doing it so many different times, and I've never really gone ahead and done it. So I think it's going to happen. And what they have in there is so far what I've seen, the absolute best candidate mixed with what they do here with the auto recycling. So pretty cool. All right, we're 600 miles away from home, exactly 600 miles to the dot away from home. So it's time to get on the road. See you guys back at the shop. 700 miles later, and we are back in the shop. Quarter panel got a slight dent, really small dent in transit. That's my fault. Anyways, so you can see it came with this whole trunk piece. This is like the lip right here. And then it comes around, and then it has the whole taillight housing here as well. Those are two pieces that definitely did not get hit in the wreck, and they are interconnected with so much other stuff that I'm opting to not replace those right now. Obviously pretty focused on not worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. So those are just spot welded into this piece, so we're gonna need to go ahead and unweld them, as I like to say. But I am gonna keep this piece coming out here and that piece down there. So we're gonna redo this piece and this piece, because I think we're gonna have a cleaner connection right here to the whole rest of the setup. So I'm gonna find a way to get this into a position where I can work on it a little bit better and go ahead and drill out those spot welds and get those pieces disconnected. we got the quarter panel down to just the quarter panel. You can see down there, we actually ended up replacing or taking this piece off because it was looking like once I came in here and for me to cut all this stuff out, it was looking like it was probably going to do a little bit more harm than good, because it's very hard to get a cutting device into this thing right here, because this comes down and actually overlaps by several inches and stuff like that. I was going to have to destroy a lot of stuff. And so what I did instead was I test fit everything, made sure everything's like lining up here and here where we want it to, and everything is lining up correctly. And then I made the decision, go ahead and remove that part. We still have it if we ever need to go back to it, but right now it doesn't look like we need to. So the next thing we got to do is modify our DIY wheel well a little bit and bend this metal down. There was a lot of discussion about this wheel well, and I'm going to touch on it very briefly. First of all, some people are on one side saying this stuff doesn't really matter. Some people are on the other side saying this is extremely unsafe, etc., etc. This is essentially what's called like a mini tub. People have done it on cars for a very, very long time. I can tell you the main part of the structure of the car is more of this stuff coming up here, coming down here, and then inside there, because your frame rail is right here, goes into the unibody and runs around here. The main job that this piece of metal does from factory, it's one piece, goes from here all the way around to here, and it's rolled in, right? It rolls down where ours comes more or less straight out, kind of comes down here. It's a very, very thin piece of metal and the changes that we have made will change essentially the crash science behind this car. If you replace it with too thick of metal, it won't let other pieces crumple at the right time. It'll be too strong and push into other places of the crumple zone. If you replace it with too thin, it won't take up enough force, and then you'll get hit harder essentially. So it's a back and forth, but I will say that when you get hit in this area, the vast majority of the time, a lot of the damage goes to the wheel and the suspension components, because you have to think that's the thing sitting the farthest out, etc., etc. Not to say that makes it different, but the biggest point is this is my car. This is not a car that's for sale. This is not a car that I ever plan on selling, and this is not a type of thing that will affect people on the outside. Like if you're doing like jimmy rigging suspension and like welding, control arms and stuff that could snap or whatever, that could be dangerous to other people on the road, because your car could lose control and stuff like that. This, not so much. So it's a personal thing. I actually, when I priced it out, that bent piece of metal, that curved piece of metal was $400 from my local Nissan dealer. Somebody linked me to one that was $85 on eBay, and I thought, you know what, at $85 plus about like $60 shipping, I'm just gonna buy it to try and make people happy, which is kind of a futile cause because you never make everybody happy. But anyways, I bought it, but then the seller fumbled the shipping, unfortunately, and it won't be here till next month. So just for the sake of actually getting the build done eventually, I'm gonna go ahead and move on. And yeah, it is what it is. Yes, I could have spent more time and done it with like an English wheel and made it all one piece, but I'm not in the business of spending a ton of time on things that really, to me, don't matter. And everybody will argue till the end of time whether it does matter or it doesn't. So anyways, moving on, we're gonna go ahead and roll this lip edge a little bit. I could easily trim it off, but I want to roll it so I have more material to be able to weld my quarter panel onto my wheel well to help it stay waterproof and stay attached. So we're gonna roll that down a little bit and continue to test fit our quarter panel until we have every seam and every part fitting up really nice and snug. Okay, we got the quarter panel sitting on here very nicely. The metal is all happy, and we got a really good mate between the inner wheel well and the outer spot here. And the game plan for that is once I get this whole thing mounted on here, well, I'll probably just jump on the inside. I'll cut from the inside out along that line, and then I'll weld the two pieces together all the way around, and then waterproof it so no dirt or anything can get inside our quarter panel. So the next step that I need to do is to mark out where we want to do our spot welding, and I'm going to use where the old spot welds were as kind of an indication of where we need to do it, because you can see this panel doesn't have any holes to weld through it, because some body shops have a spot weld gun. It's got two arms that come in here, and it electronically goes zap and zaps through both of these and spot welds them. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use a more traditional welder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a paint pen, and you'll see me kind of mark all the way around where every spot weld used to be, all the ones that I can see where they used to be, all the way around the panel. And then I'm also going to center punch them so I can drill those out. Okay, we got those all marked out and they're all center punched, so now it's time to very carefully drill all of those out of the panel. All right, we've got our panel ready to go. We've got all our spots that we need to weld it to the car all drilled out. So the next step is to prep the surface of the car, which means that we need to remove this extra layer of spot weld. So if you guys remember when we drill out the spot weld, the original panel is all here. That's why it's all white and stuff like that. And to do that, we're gonna use the good old flap disc. You can find these down at like Harbor Freight, pretty much anywhere. And they go on the whatever you call it, rotary tool. I call it a cutoff wheel, but that's not right. Anyways, I think that's the best tool to get a nice clean surface on this. And then after you do that, you gotta remember to use a zinc weld through primer, because you gotta make sure that that's all primed up metal, but also you're gonna be welding into it. So zinc weld through primer to clean all that up once it's done. We're getting close. So what I did was sanded all these down, like I said. The fact that you can see these circles means that I went a little hardcore with the spot weld drill bit. So live and learn. Got to go a little bit lighter next time, but it shouldn't really have any effect. And then zinc weld through primer everywhere around, everywhere. No more bare metal on the inside of this at all. This is the last time we're gonna have access to any of these pieces, so you should see no bare metal here. So I prepped the quarter panel. I had to trim a little bit off the roof line because remember we did some cutting up there. And then I deburred the backside of all of our drilling holes, and we got it all ready to go. So the next thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna put it on here. I'm gonna get it you know, nice and snug, especially around in the door sill. And I'm gonna throw as few tacks on here as I can to just get the panel in place where I want it. And then I'm going to test fit the door and make sure that that is very happy with opening and closing and everything before I go through and fully weld out this whole thing. Okay, we threw a couple welds in, like we got one here and one here and one here as we're moving up, and test fit the door. Door fits great, so I'm very confident with moving on and fully welding this thing up. The only thing that I know of to keep in mind on this step is that obviously putting too much heat into one area can cause warpage, so you might want to jump around a little bit as you're welding to not heat up one certain area of the panel too much, and I wouldn't advise any like rapid cooling techniques either. I don't know if you could see me panicking there for a bit, but somewhere in this mid-range right here, while welding through, it must have hit some sort of foam or something underneath and caught the car on fire on the inside. So inside the structure, underneath the metal where I can no longer access, was on fire, which is super scary. It's one of my biggest fears when welding on cars like this, is having the car basically burn out from the inside. So just a reminder to have your fire extinguishers absolutely everywhere. There's a bunch of them in here. We keep 4 of them around. So you don't burn down your shop as well. But yeah, scary stuff. A little bit of a panic. But now all we have to do is work on this back section here, and then it'll all be all sealed up and there's nothing that'll catch fire. And here I know because I built it. All right, the quarter panel is on there. So you can see my handy dandy welding work up the frame rail and around on the roof, down on the bottom here, a little bit on the roof here, and on the back side here. So we need a little bit of sanding probably to take out some of the high spots, any of these that got a little too high. This is definitely a lot better with the gas shielded wire rather than the flux core, but it can be done with flux core. Just got to do a little bit more sanding cleanup. Sanding cleanup on this rail, seam sealer all through here as well. And all these other parts, I don't get seam sealer. The top parts and the bottom parts get seam sealer as well, but the pinch weld does not. It just gets this rubber gasketing over it. But it's a nice tight fit. You can see the alignment of the holes for the body, like how they're perfectly centered right there. That's a good sign that they're, you know, that it's lined up where it's supposed to be. So I'm very happy with that. Enough quarter panel drama. We've got a quarter panel on the car. At this point on, it's just paint and then final assembly. This is actually a really fun day at the shop. And I had a fun day yesterday, road tripping. Things are good. That was a milestone. Getting the quarter panel on there correctly, properly fitted, pretty big milestone. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and hit that subscribe button, guys. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace!